In this video, I head to the island of Hawaii in search of some of the rarest endemic birds in the United States. Along the way, we find some incredible species, including some introduced to the island, as well as a few of the endemic birds. We also find one of the most critically endangered birds on Earth. Come with me on this journey and let's see what birds we can find. Good morning, everybody from Hawaii, the island of Hawaii. Here's Kaleb back here getting ready to go. And oh my goodness, we are in the craziest place I think I've ever been to. I've never been to Hawaii before. We've already seen some incredible birds. Obviously, we flew in, we got in super late last night, as you saw in that quick little compilation with the drums. But now we are here on Hawaii, and this is not what I expected it to look like. Just look at that. Very green, but more grassy. So the island of Hawaii is very different than all the other islands, which is very cool. So we're gonna see a lot of cool habitats today, but we are here looking for palila. That is one of the hardest birds that we have on this trip, and we might as well do it at the beginning. But on the way here, on the road, we picked up a barn owl, American barn owl. That's pretty cool. The barn owls are not super common to see out here. I think the poeo, which is a short-eared owl, is actually, you know, more prevalent around these parts. But we've gotten 4 barn owls actually. Last night we saw some, this morning we saw one as we were flying in. But let's head down this trail and see if we can find this palila and what other birds we can find. First lifer in the trip is a native species, endemic to Hawaii, amakihi. Absolutely incredible, not the best of views. We were pretty far away. We'll probably see more of them as we go up. We're just hiking up this hill, and per usual, I'm out of shape. Hopefully we can get up here to the palila, but definitely got amakihi. There's another yellowbird on there as well. Might be Akiapalau, but definitely amakihi at a minimum. I don't know these birds very well. The lighting's not great right now. The sun hasn't even come up over the hill yet, so let's continue walking. Come on, let's see what we can find. The views from the trail were absolutely stunning as we scanned the landscape for birds. Surprisingly, a familiar bird from home came out onto the path, California quails. Many game birds were introduced to the island for hunting, which is why these are here. Oddly enough, there was also a northern mockingbird calling up quite a storm. The weirdest birds were brought to the island, as you'll see throughout this video. Got another lifer on the list for the day, this time a non-native introduced species, Urkel's spurfowl. Very funny name for this bird, and they're also very skulky. They were introduced to Hawaii, and it just brings in a big hunting crowd. So people like to come out here to this area actually specifically to hunt for spurfowl, pheasant, francolins, it's quail, etc. And we've seen and heard pretty much all of those that I mentioned. A few species on camera so far. Obviously, amakihi is the one I'm most excited about, being an endemic bird to Hawaii, our first endemic, but getting the Urkel's spurfowl on camera is pretty cool. It was really distant views per usual, but we're only halfway up towards the palila. The palila could be here as well. So we're keeping our eye out, but it's a difficult bird to find. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, that's awesome. Dude, so sick. Wait, get your camera on that. The elephant canoe. Another lifer on this list, it's another introduced species, red-billed Leothrix on camera. Very brief views of that bird. Now you might be wondering, why is everything introduced? Well, we only have kind of realistically 8 endemic species to Hawaii that we might see this trip. There's a few others that are possible, but realistically only about 8 that we'll see, but 40 possible lifers total that are, you know, introduced to the islands. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, some people aren't big fans of introduced species, non-natives, but we're here on Hawaii. We're going to enjoy what we see, whether it's native or non-native. Obviously, we're specifically making our trips for the native species. So hence why we're going for the palila. Let's see if we can pick up any other birds on this trip. A handful of lifers to start us off already. Got another lifer on the list, the warbling wide-eye. Again, this is an introduced species and they're really beautiful birds. They have a really pretty call, but they're kind of all over. The amakihi was the most abundant bird for the longest time, and then the warbling wide-eye just overtook it. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but we got a lifer, so that's pretty cool. We are about an hour away from the Palila Discovery Trail. So we're gonna get up there, look for palilas, obviously. No palilas so far on this trail, but let's see what birds we can find. We continued hiking into the rising sun, the heat and humidity beating down on us. Singing a sweet song above us was my lifer yellow-fronted canary. These birds have an awesome song and are quite stunning as well. Birds weren't the only life on the trail though, as we also found several species of butterflies. This house finch seemed incredibly out of place on the island, and it's definitely because someone brought them here. We made it to the Palila Forest Discovery Trail, where one of the most endangered Hawaiian endemics resides. I actually just got a lifer, Eurasian skylark. This is another introduced species to the island. They do this really cool display though, where they fly up into the air and they make all these beautiful calls. Now that hike was brutal, I'm not gonna lie. That was 4 miles, most of it straight uphill. But now we're at the Palila Forest Discovery Trail to find the palila. This is what we came for. We don't hear any calling right now, but we're not gonna be discouraged. Let's head down this trail, see if we can pick up this incredibly special bird species. We entered into the Palila Discovery Trail hoping to find this critically endangered species. We got more incredible views of the Hawai'i amakihi. Despite how common these birds are, these are some of the few endemics that are doing at least okay. Many of the other island birds are in steep decline due to habitat loss, introduced species, especially things like cats, mongoose, and mosquitoes, and climate change. Once all of Hawaii's birds could be found in abundance throughout the islands, and now many of them may not last through the next couple years. It's important to remember though that there are many people fighting to save these species in Hawaii, and we too can support that mission through donations. You'll hear me mention helping Hawaii's birds a lot throughout these videos because I just can't stand to see them disappear. Now let's go find ourselves a palila in this beautiful landscape. Just got another lifer endemic native species, elepau. Absolutely incredible. We got great views of that bird. It's a beautiful brown, white, and black just species here on the island. Very flitty, very difficult to get on film. We've already seen it a couple times, but we finally got it on camera. I can't believe it. So happy to get that bird on camera. That's 2 endemics. We wanted 8, I think, is what we realistically thought we could reach. 8 endemic here, but so far still no sign of the palila. So we're gonna continue on this trail and see if we can pick up that bird. But getting the elepau is absolutely incredible. Kaleb got some awesome photos as well, so make sure you go follow him over on Instagram. And I got some photos too, so those will eventually be up there for y'all to see. Okay, so why is the palila such a special and coveted bird that I want to feature on the channel, that Kaleb and I want to see, that, you know, why did we walk 4 miles to try to find this species? Well, it's because this bird is severely critically endangered. In fact, let me flip this around for you. 200 years ago, its range was in yellow. Today, it's that range in brown represented there. Then up here, there's the palila itself, if we don't end up seeing one today. Just a beautiful, beautiful bird species. Of course, I want to be able to find this bird to be able to share its story with you guys. But we don't have to find the bird to share its story. The palila needs our help, so in the link in the description below, I'm going to link some organizations that you can donate to help save this critically endangered species. There's not that many of them left. Again, hopefully we find one today so I can show you guys how beautiful these birds are. But so far it's been an incredible day of birding, and let's see what else we find as we go back down the trail for one more bout. We found another Hawai'i elepau, this one seemingly looking like a younger bird or perhaps a female with its duller colors. Suddenly, a flash of yellow flew across our path, but something seemed different about this bird.
We bent down to get a view under the branches, and honestly, we couldn't believe our eyes.
Oh my gosh, we got it. Oh my gosh, we got it. We actually got it. How the Okay, I guess we just like have a serious conversation about it. Oh my goodness. We were just having a conversation about potentially, potentially walking another 4.5 miles or coming back another day and doing the hike all over again. And then all of a sudden, we saw a flash of yellow. Now, keep in mind, amakihis are all over the place and they're yellow. And then there's the yellow-fronted canaries and they're yellow. And there's just so much yellow birds. The white-eye's yellow. We saw a flash. The flowers on the tree that they're eating are yellow. We saw this flash of yellow that just looked slightly different. Kaleb like got down on the ground to get a view, and it was the palila. We got the critically endangered palila on camera, and it's absolutely incredible. So enjoy these views of one of the top birds that I wanted to see in Hawaii.
The palila is a critically endangered species endemic to the island of Hawaii that relies almost exclusively on the seeds of the mamane tree. These seeds are toxic to most other creatures, and the palila takes advantage of its ability to eat the seeds. Introduced sheep, goats, and cows have completely decimated its native habitat, causing its population to drop by 90% since 1998. We must save this beautiful species.
Wasn't that incredible? Just, I don't know, we were both kind of shaking. We were just talking about how this bird is critically endangered and we really hope it bounces back, but potentially could, disappear in the next decade or so if we don't take care of business out here. We were able to see it. Not only that, but able to feature this beautiful creature on the channel that needs our help. Remember, links to donate to save some of these Hawaiian species are in the description below. Your money goes a long way to helping these birds. So we're going to continue out of Palila. We're going to head to Volcano National Park to try to pick up some more amazing species. We have quite the hike to get back to the car though, so who knows, we might pick up some other incredible things. We still don't have Io, which is the Hawaiian hawk, and we don't have Nene, which is the Hawaiian goose, which could potentially fly over at any moment. So let's go on this trip and let's see what other birds we can find. But we got the Palila, and the rest of the trip, it's like when we got the coppery-tailed trogon at the beginning of Arizona. Like, it kind of just takes a weight off of your shoulder. The next most wanted bird I have on my list is the iiwe, which is a bright scarlet bird with a very hooked bill. Obviously, an image will be up on screen. Let's see if we can get that bird. Wow, day one, already incredible. What are you thinking? How are you feeling, Kaleb?
Mind blown. This was like maybe my #1 most wanted bird for the trip, knowing that the hardest one might not be possible. I'm like so stoked. We were talking about how like, oh, all right, we're just not gonna get it. Bam, there it is. That was insane. I still can't believe that. My jaw's on the floor.
We walked back down the mountain absolutely ecstatic at our luck on the day and finding such incredible birds. Another out-of-place bird caught our eye, the northern cardinal. Further down the path from us, we spotted a feral pig digging up roots until it eventually saw us and ran off into the brush. Finally, we arrived back at our car, rain threatening to fall at any moment on the horizon.
All right, so we've made our way all the way down that winding trail. As you saw in the little voiceover, we did see a wild, feral pig on the trail, which is not a good thing. Anything that's been introduced to the island has been decimating the environment. But anyways, we are almost to the car, and let me tell you something real quick about the car, okay? I forgot to mention this. The car, this is the biggest adventure I think I've ever been on. I just wanna say thank you so much to Allison. You'll see Allison later in some of these videos, just not maybe in this first one. But Allison was generous enough to invite us out. She's doing an internship out here and has an Airbnb and is renting a car for $25 a night. And the car is so cool. It's got 252,000 miles on it, and the right passenger window doesn't roll down, and it's just like the perfect birding vehicle that I can imagine. Oh, wow. Like something you'd see in The Big Year. I don't know, it's such a sitcom. So
it feels like a Kingbird Highway type vehicle for sure.
Yeah, except dude was not in a car the whole time. But yes, pretty much it would be that level of car. So anyways, we are going to go get some lunch. Of course, I'll be filming some stuff. Make sure you join the membership program if you want some behind the scenes content. I do a little bit more in-depth interviews with Kaleb and Allison, and then, you know, get some more of that personality in there with lunches and stuff. But we're gonna head to Volcano National Park after lunch, and I'll see you in a minute.
I just mentioned how this car is super reliable. Well, look at our gas. Can you see it? Yeah, look at our gas. We're on empty, completely empty. We've been on empty for 10 minutes now, and we're what, 17 miles away from the nearest gas station. The gas tank just dove down to 0, and our brakes are shaking as we go down this hill. I'll keep you updated, but we might be screwed. I'm not gonna lie, we might be screwed. We made it to the gas station. We were on empty for 48 minutes. And I kept slamming the car into neutral, and we just cruised all the way down the hill, all the way into town, into Hilo. We're here. And my lifer Common Mina is sitting right over here at the gas station. So enjoy views of that Common Mina. But wow, that's incredible. I can't actually believe that happened. We, like I said, 48 minutes cruising on neutral all the way down the hill. And we made it to the gas station by cruising. What a journey. I enjoyed myself an absolutely delicious fish and chips meal while I watched one of the most disastrous introductions to Hawai'i, the small Indian mongoose, just hanging out on the grass next to the restaurant.
He's just chilling, bro.
He's just chilling. He's probably been in there since this morning.
We just finished up eating this delicious meal. I got fish and chips, and I love fish and chips. These are probably the best that I've ever had. Nice sweet coconut flavor, melts in your mouth, so perfect. We're at this beautiful park now, right next to this massive bay. And I've just got a whole bunch of new lifer species. So the first one I got was saffron finch. This is a beautiful finch species, non-native to Hawaii as well, but it's got some beautiful colors on it. This really bold yellow mixed with some orange and some red. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous creature. Obviously, also got a zebra dove, another non-native species to Hawaii, but another lifer on the list for us. Zebra doves, also a very beautiful species. Lots of stripes on it. It has a beautiful like bluish color around its eye. And then lastly, just picked up probably my favorite non-native species in terms of aesthetics. You can say that. Common Mina. Picked up some Common Mina over here in the taller grass. Right behind me over here, just around this tree, is the state bird of Hawaii, the nene, also known as the Hawaiian goose, but I like to call it the nene because that's its name. Absolutely incredible to pick up that bird. It's one that we really, really wanted to see, and you kind of just have to go to the right parks. They like to hang out in the parks on the island, at least this island of Hawaii, and we're in these beautiful gardens where we've just gotten a whole bunch of other different species, but getting the nene, that was very high on my list. It's one of the greater success stories of conservation as well. A bird that was not doing too hot, and then conservationists stepped in and saved it, and it's doing a lot better now. Still a lot of work to do, but again, if you'd like to donate to help the birds of Hawaii, check out the links in the description. We're looking for maybe 1 or 2 more species here. I need ruddy turnstone, which is a bird I probably should have by now because they visited Utah and they're in California all the time, but it's actually a nemesis bird, and I might get it in Hawaii. So stick with me. Let's see what other birds we can find out here. One more new species at this park with the wood chipper that keeps going off. We got yellow-billed cardinal. Again, introduced species to the area. Very beautiful bird though. But we're gonna head off to Volcano National Park. It's our best chance at Iiwe. We have good chances at the tropic birds there. So we're gonna hit the road. I've got sweat running into my eyes and I can't see anything. So let's see what other birds we can find today. So we just saw some incredible views of volcanoes. We're currently at Volcanoes National Park, and while we were observing these volcanoes that erupt every couple of days, they're very active volcanoes, we ended up getting a lifer flying above the volcanoes. That lifer ended up being a white-tailed tropic bird. Wow, you can see their super long white tail, and you can see them flying over the volcanic just like field of lava. Really awesome to see, very distant views. We know they're white-tailed tropic birds because they have that long white tail. There's also red-tailed tropic birds in Hawaii that we didn't actually see, at least not in the initial view of the footage. They'll have a bright red tail that doesn't stand out as much as the white-tail does. So a lifer on the list for the day. Now we're just walking through the forest here at Volcano National Park, and we picked up an amakihi, our old friend from earlier today. So we're trying to find i'iwe here. That's our main target. Apapane we need to get views of. Let's see what birds we can find. I just got another lifer. We just drove down a little bit from Volcano National Park, still in Volcano National Park. We're on the Devastation Trail and just picked up a whole bunch of apapane, another endemic species native to Hawaii on the list. One of the most beautiful birds, one of the most common of the native species, allegedly, because we've only found this flock and some fleeting views earlier today. But apapane on the list. Oh, that's incredible. All we need is i'iwe now for pretty much like those super coveted ones. Then we need omoa as well. We have a chance of getting those in the next video, which is tomorrow. But if we get i'iwe today, we have a very, 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 very good chance of just being able to, I don't know, kind of relax for the rest of the Hawaii trips, just get better views. Oh, we need io, which is the Hawaiian hawk. So we do need a few more of these endemic species. There's a few that I'm missing as well, I know, on that. But to get apapane and get really good views of it, of such a beautiful, stunning bird, is incredible. Just following the apapane, I got another lifer, this one introduced. For every 4 introduced species, there's going to be 1 endemic here on Hawaii. But we got the Kaleb pheasant. I got the female on camera. There was a male with it, but the male was a little bit more skulky than the female. Really beautiful bird species, actually. The Kaleb pheasant, the male, is completely black with some striping on it. Pretty beautiful species. And then the female is brownish with that red, you know, feather skin around the eye. So really happy to get that on camera. New bird for my life list. Let's see what else we can find on this trail. Well, the male Kaleb pheasant actually ended up cooperating quite well. It walked eventually right in front of us. So you got to see that as well. Really stunning species, like I mentioned before. We're gonna continue down this trail. It's this beautiful forest that we're in. I'm really enjoying it. It's been super hot and super humid all day. You can see I got a little bit sunburnt already today, which is not good. It's nice to escape the heat in the shade here. As the sun starts going down, we should get a little bit more bird activity. We've got apapane, we've got amakihi in here. We've got the Kaleb pheasants, hoping for i'iwe. We can see if we can find that bird. I'll keep you updated.
I'm going to end this video with our views inside some lava tubes. Make sure you tune in next week for more adventures in Hawaii, and if you'd like to support the channel, links to my membership program and merch are in the description below. As always, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope to see you all next time on Bright-Eyed Birding.